of something that Bill Gates of the world and Larry Pages of the world or Mark Zuckerbergs of the world did not think, then you have a chance of creating India's first company with $1 trillion market cap. And for that, you have to go to what I term extreme differentiation. That's the only way this game is played.
You were 23 years old, so you were pretty naive as well. So we thought this is the next $1 billion idea, and let's start this.
My business was actually not meant to be a business, but it was just a way to make me pocket money, and that's how the journey started.
We started selling this service for 200 rupees in Kolkata, and believe me, people are saying it's too expensive. Then we moved to Bangalore, and then in Bangalore we realized, okay, 2000 is also very cheap. So we started selling for 5,000 rupees.
To do a 0 to 1, you need to believe in some of those things that only you know are true, and others will probably catch up to it.
Sharing their entrepreneurial stories this week are JustDial, iYogi, Druva and Garg. VSS Money's first venture, Ask Me, a telephonic search service, nosedived a couple of years after its launch. But Money didn't call it quits and made the right call the second time round with JustDial. Revolutionizing local information search since its launch in 1996, JustDial has been disrupting its own model year after year. It not only has had a blockbuster IPO in the Indian stock markets, but has also recently launched its Search Plus engine. In 2007, entrepreneurs Uday, Challu and Vishal Dhar joined hands to launch iYogi, a Gurgaon-based remote tech support company. About 7 years later, the 35-member team has grown to 5,000 odd, serving 2.5 million customers across 17 countries. iYogi is a provider of online subscription-based technical support services offered directly to consumers and small businesses. Growing at 300% year-on-year, the team at iYogi is getting ready for an IPO.
Funny, you're the only listed guy in the book. You're aspiring to go public. So let me start by asking you, what has been the journey like? I mean, the IPO was a blockbuster success. Given the fact that the market was in a dismal point, but you managed to be oversubscribed 12.5 times, if my memory serves me right. What's the experience been like being listed?
No different.
Really?
Absolutely no different. We have been focusing on our business, on our users, on our product for many, many years. We continue to do the same. I have not personally felt the difference, except for it's a bit hard on time because you take out time to meet your investors and you take out time to go to investor conferences and those calls and other things.
And you used to be on CNBC TV 18 every quarter taking us through your numbers to the last decimal point.
That's right.
So you would advise them to go that route?
Absolutely. I mean, I would go into the path of earning a better name as a company, more respect and honor than really choose any shortcut, any such methods. So never keep your eyes on your stock prices. Just focus on your business and your product.
You're not keeping your eye on the stock prices?
Not at all. In fact, there are many days I don't even look at it.
Okay, so Uday, Vishal, all set for an IPO now?
There are a bunch of things which go into getting set for an IPO. I think we're on that path. I wouldn't say that we're there as yet. It'll take some more time, but it should be very shortly.
I think if you're running a business, that doesn't become the aim. It just becomes as part of the evolution as you mature. If that should be the route.
In the 13 entrepreneurs that we have in the book, companies like Snapdeal, yours, your story as well. The companies that you run today are very different from the companies that you actually started. Take us through from Ask Me to JustDial, coping with the fact that your first business plan didn't turn out the way that you envisaged it would, dealing with failure, and then having the guts to actually go out there and do it again.
We got the timing wrong the first time. So we thought of a search engine over the phone back then in 1989. And we thought there was a dearth of instant information. We said, is there a way people can find free, fast and accurate information back then in 89? But we didn't realize there were only 4 million telephone connections in India for a population of 850 million Indians. But I did feel that there is definitely going to be an opportunity for search engines. This was before the internet era, actually. Well, I came from a non-business family. I was also the breadwinner for my family. I had 3 siblings to take care. I had penniless, actually, honestly speaking. So I had to have this idea of wait for the right timing. And for about 4 years, I was actually doing odd jobs, odd businesses to save up some money so that I could apply for enough telephone lines so that I can start this business once. In 1996 is when I founded JustDial. And we moved on till about 2006. For 10 years, no venture capital would ever entertain us because they wouldn't understand this business at all. Because it's so different and, it was not. And people wanted to compare with something which is there abroad. And unfortunately, our business model was unique and we didn't have replicating any model. Anyway, so when we moved on to the web, it was different. Just the free and accurate information wouldn't work. What was important was people wanted rich content. They wanted to see pictures, maps, directions, videos. So we worked on that. And then we learned in 2010 that we need social integration, user reviews and ratings. And many of these decisions which we take are actually not necessarily in favor of our customers or it is quite disruptive in the sense that if I give in better ratings and reviews to my free listers, because the users do it, and advertisers get bad ratings, we still have to put up with that. And we moved on to that, then to the mobile revolution, developing mobile apps. And now we focused on search plus transaction.
Okay, so let me ask the two of you then, Vishal. Mani here was talking about how you keep changing your plans or the company keeps evolving itself. And the other problem is that sometimes the customers don't understand what you're about, and sometimes the customers don't understand how you're going to be able to deliver what you promised to deliver. How did you cope with that challenge? Uday, let me start by asking you. Yeah?
I can take it.
Whoever. Does this happen often?
No, it doesn't happen often. But it's an interesting question because when we set up the service, it was a new service category. Third-party, vendor-independent tech support didn't exist. You would go back to your traditional computer manufacturer or software publisher or your ISP or whoever else, your local friend who lives in your village. There wasn't a problem of actually finding the demand. There was a problem of how do you communicate that. And at that time, online marketing was new. We were obviously targeting customers in US, UK, Australia, those geographies. So we had limited resources in terms of how can you think through things, but you figure it out. You just work at it, you hit your head hard enough. Sometime, someday, some idea comes and you figure it out.
Try before you buy.
Try it before you buy.
That's a hallmark of the way our customers engage with us in our service and understand our business. We started this business with a business plan which till date is relevant. We started with the same product. We had a target to get to 100 million revenues in 5 years. We reached very close to that. We were the fastest company in India to reach 50 million in 3 years when we got there. And nothing much changed. The only thing that changed is that we thought that we would get away with a little bit of capital and do it. I remember Mr. Srivastava was sitting here. He was interviewed by a magazine some 7 years back or 5 years back. I don't remember now what time. And he said, what do you think of this company? And he says, they're going to take a lot of capital to get where they're going to get to. And he was totally right. We've already raised about 90 million. I think we'll need another 90 to get to where we want to get to. So there are a few things we didn't understand well, but I think the plan remained where it was.
Before I get back to money, why iYogi?
Well, we wanted to be an Indian brand, and there's very little precedence of Indian consumer services brand from India. There isn't actually any. So we wanted to be Indian. We wanted to have an Indian name, Indian feel. Everyone who works in our operation does not use aliases. We banish or admonish any kind of practices like that. So that's why iYogi. People, our consumers, we want them to connect with India through the service that they have.
Money? Amitabh Bachchan brought him as a brand ambassador. Yes. That must have cost you a lot.
No, of course. We chose Mr. Bachchan because we lasted for so many years. We have continued to change. So is Mr. Bachchan. You've seen different avatars of Mr. Bachchan. He's still so relevant. He appeals to all age groups, cross sections of people in the country.
Mr. Bachchan, do you see yourself as?
The earlier ones in the 70s.
The earlier ones. So let me give you 10 seconds to end. Vishal, I'll start by asking you, what is the one thing that you would like to see yourself do personally? Forget iYogi, forget the company, but personally, what is the one goal that you have for yourself over the next 5 to 10 years?
I mean, the thing that I've sort of deprived myself of is spending time with my two daughters and getting more culture, which I kind of don't have time for, or space for in my life right now.
Uday, personal goal?
We're both Kashmiris. I left.
So am I. So it's a panel of
So
I think you're outnumbered.
I left the valley nearly 30 years back, and Vishal still has family there, his parents are there. I haven't gone back since. And our ambition in both in the business and personally, it is for me is important to me too that at some stage we'll establish a presence and hire and train tons of people there and get jobs into the Kashmir Valley and try and find a way of integrating back from where we left.
And more power to the both of you. Mani, I'm going to end by asking you what your personal goal is.
Be a better singer. I'm just practicing. I'm still not in sur.
Please start today.
Many things, but at some point I want to get on to angel investing, but not right now, but maybe in the next couple of years.
Mani, Uday and Vishal, appreciate you joining us here for Young Turks. Thank you so much, and congratulations and the very best for the future. Thank you so much.
So I realized early on the only way I can succeed is by hiring people smarter than me and looking at talent at a global level.